What's up, banana bunch? Bunch? Bunch?
Welcome to the Jungle Gyms podcast. What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It is time for another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. Obviously, as always, I'm your host, Mark, and I'm incredibly excited to be here. Kind of like I'm incredibly excited to be everywhere all the time. You're welcome. Unless you don't like that, in which case, I'm sorry. This week, we got another great episode for you. We're doing a ton of Fizz Fest stuff. This week and next week's episode are very Fizz Fest focused. I'm really excited about this, but I didn't want to, for those of you listening to the audio-only version of the show, I so appreciate it. But, I know I keep mentioning this, but I'm trying to grow our presence on YouTube. And I'm really just looking at this as I'm hosting a late-night talk show that is all about international food here through Jungle Gyms. So, today on the desk with me, look at this amazing gift basket. Let me give you serious tone for a second. AJ, from Produce AJ that you've met on the show before, he just made this for me. And when it came in, I was like, well, that looks incredible. I'm going to put this on the show this week to show it off, just in case it doesn't end up elsewhere, because I will be doing some local news appearances here this week. So if you are in the Cincinnati area, I'll be on Good Morning Cincinnati here today, the same day that this episode releases, Wednesday. Next week, Nick and I will both be on Channel 19, Fox 19, WXIX, doing Fizz Fest over there next week. And then on Local 12, I'm talking about the podcast in general. And you know what? Well, first off, I want to thank all of our local news media for the support and love. I truly can't appreciate it enough. I need to make it very clear that none of these opportunities would have happened without all of your support. So seriously, I've been doing this show almost a year now. I'm so thankful for all your support. I'm so thankful that you guys are just interacting with me, having a lot of fun. I got a few things throughout the episode I would tell you to check for because I want to play around. As always, I'm always trying to engage with all of you directly, and I'd love for you to be as involved as you'd like to be. But I'm back in the studio today because it's been another busy week. It's been a crazy couple weeks for me in the store, and it's always fun. But I just want to get right to the content because we got a great one today. So coming up right next, Nick is back on the show, and he's bringing his daughter Ava one more time, a crowd favorite as I understand it, and we are sampling a bunch of new games in the I meant to say a bunch of new things, rather, in the hydration game. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go to Nick and Ava and me. All right, folks.
All right,
wait,
folks.
We need another one. What's another Paramore song that we did? Ain't It Fun? We did the first song.
I don't know. What song do you want to sing? What song you want to bring it into?
No.
You don't want to sing anything?
Nope.
Nothing?
Nope.
Oh, you're a party pooper.
I've got this new cup filled up with drink.
He's trying to go Taking Back Sunday, but it didn't work this time. It didn't work last time.
It didn't work last time either, which is disappointing. But I'm just trying to think of stuff we both know.
Paramore is it's got the.
I'm ready to crush. 3 more drinks. Anyway. So we're back, folks, again. This is the third week of tasting stuff. We're talking about Fizz Fest again. Fizz Fest, August 6th, a free non-alcoholic festival for all ages from 12 to 5 p.m. here at Jungle Gyms in Fairfield, Ohio.
OHIO.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be over at the Oscar Station, which, I didn't mention it the previous 2 weeks, but if you don't know, it's on campus here, but it's not part of the main building. It's the one with the snakes all over it, just in case.
Snakes on a plane.
Pretty excited about it. And today, what was that? You don't like snakes?
No.
Oh, no snakes. All right. Well, Ava it's really a hard lesson too because she's our snake wrangler for the event. So I guess we're going to have to hire someone else. I thought you were going to handle the snakes.
Yeah.
I'm not touching no snakes.
Why?
All right, well, off to a bad start.
You're lost, man.
Well, today we're diving into the water category, right? Because we've done some sodas, we've done some energy drinks, and today we're talking about water. And I see, I teased this last week. I'll be dunked for charity into, I didn't realize it was this big, 500 gallons of Fiji water.
Fiji water.
From the source, dude. Volcanic rocks flowing all over me. I literally can't wait. I love that that's a thing. I love my job. I get to do weird stuff like that. You work in a place where they're just like, no, go ahead and take your shirt off and get dunked on the clock.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm in.
We want you to get paid to be half naked.
What'd you say, Nick?
We want to pay you to be half naked.
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, Dad, look at me now.
You're so wet.
That's right. It's gonna be soaking wet.
Well,
I got a bathing suit that matches this too, so it's gonna be cool.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah. Well, so on behalf of Fiji, I say we start with them today.
Yeah, the cool thing today is we have 2 different water brands, 2 different types. I guess you could say 2 types of water.
Yeah.
Fiji is the most natural water you'll ever drink in your life.
That's true.
It doesn't get touched by man until I crack open the bottle, which is awesome.
That blew my mind when they told me that. I was like, oh, weird. Okay.
I
it's
could not-
sealed. Yeah.
I could not
I
believe
love water.
how natural it is.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I honestly couldn't believe that when he said like it wasn't touched by man until you crack it open. It's
Yeah.
just mind blowing. So obviously we have 2 different water brands, 2 big sponsors for this fest. Obviously Fiji with Dunk Booth, Liquid Death sponsoring the whole entire shindig.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
cheers
both.
to them guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers to all of them. Cheers to all of our sponsors this event.
Fiji is
It
so
really
good.
is
It's
so,
so
good.
clean and
It's like
crisp.
silky.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think that's got to be something about the process with it being with the volcanic rocks and then the fact that it's not touched. Yeah, it doesn't even see oxygen until.
Yeah, I mean
We
it's
open the
definitely the way
bottle.
it's
That was
processed.
a big thumbs up.
Oh, big thumbs up. Here, give a thumbs up to the camera like
Say,
this.
hey,
Ava.
hey, Fiji.
That's really good, though.
Well, only thing bad about Fiji is that it's only one type of water.
That's okay.
We don't have any variations.
Well, you know what? And that's why we've got, there's other people in the water, in the wet space, as it were.
It also kind of tastes like lipstick, like chapstick.
Yeah?
You've lost your mind, girl.
Yes.
What? It tastes like chopstick.
They're gonna be happy about that one.
Yeah, they're like, oh, cool.
Should we compare apples to apples in this?
Let's start with, we should start
regular
with
Fiji-
just
yeah.
classic still Liquid Death.
Now, Ava, I hear that you're a big Liquid Death fan.
Yes, I am.
Which one is your favorite?
The mango one.
The mango
Me
one.
too.
Ooh.
Take your cup.
I think I think you and Marky are speaking the same language.
Yeah. We're making fun of her dad. We're drinking mango chainsaw.
Kick
I'm into
back, having a good old time.
That's right. Throwing down a few beverages. And, you know, by the way, I haven't really made this clear, but I always just assume the audience is intelligent. Maybe that's a dumb thing of me. But all these products that you've seen on the show in these last couple of weeks and will continue to see in these lead up, we carry these all at Jungle Gym. So the best part of Fizz Fest is if you find something you're like, oh my gosh, I love this, you can literally walk right over to the store and bring it home with you too. So that's going to be cool.
Agreed. Even Liquid Death it's so good, even for being a canned water, and I know that's like a big stereotype of canned water.
Yeah.
It's so refreshing, and it's the coolest marketing campaign I deal with. Hands
They're
down.
a cool company. I mean, all these companies are cool. They're a lot of fun. They're weird like us here at Jungle Gyms, which makes it easy. Look, I always like to tell the story. In my previous life, I used to cover a lot of festivals, music festivals, things of that nature with my old show. And in doing that, you have to try a lot of things. And a lot of these music festivals were sponsored by, I'll just say the name, I don't mean this disparagingly, were sponsored by Monster. And Monster Energy would have energy drinks all weekend until about the last day of the festival when they'd run out and they would be down to just canned Tor water. And that was my first experience with canned water.
Yeah.
And it was just tasted a little bit like it was in a can, right? It wasn't
Luminous.
bad. It was just like, that's okay. I'll just wait or drink out of the fountain or something like that. So I was apprehensive about Liquid Death at first because I was like, I just thought back to that Tor water. I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then I tried this, and I don't know what Liquid Death has done because it doesn't have any of that aluminum taste.
Correct.
I mean, it's very similar. It's not as silky as Fiji.
Correct.
But it's still really nice, really refreshing. It tastes super clean.
And you know what would be interesting to see is just what Fiji looks like compared to Liquid Death. Just because Fiji has that all natural, like you feel like you're really drinking it from the mountains. Whereas Liquid Death, you know, obviously it's not as pure as Fiji is, but it's still just as
Yeah, they're like, we're drinking from the mountains in hell and play guitars. Yeah, I'm into it. Well, and so we just tried the still. They also have a plain sparkling. But I say we run down the lineup of the flavors.
I'm
because
with
I
you.
have an idea, if that's okay with you.
I'm here for it.
All right. What would you like to start with?
You want to do mango or you want to do berry?
Mango.
All right. So let's try the mango, and then I'm going to crack open the other two because your boy's going to make his own mocktail. We're going to do mocktails. And we're going to see how this works out. All right.
I'm so glad that you're pouring hers and not letting her do it on her own. We'd have a
Oh, that
mess.
would be hilarious. Yeah, if I didn't have like a few grand in equipment on the table, I'd be like, well.
I pour my own stuff out.
Yeah, at home we don't
Well,
have
that's okay.
thousands of dollars of equipment.
And if you'll hand me that back too, because I'm going to get
Yes.
weird with it in a second. All right,
All right,
folks, let's
Ava.
try this. So this is the mango chainsaw. It's all their flavors are sparkling. So yeah, cheers. Enjoy.
It's
everybody.
very mango-y smelling.
Yeah, that rules.
We're big Liquid Death people in
Yeah.
the Hughes household. I love it.
Yeah, you really helped me get interested in them too. So these are awesome too. They also, it's all naturally sweetened too. So you use natural mango flavor,
Tingles.
a little citric acid, and then it uses agave nectar and just a couple grams to give it a little of its characteristic sweetness.
Yeah.
And to me, this is why this succeeds over something like a LaCroix, for example,
Correct.
which I also enjoy. But this just has a way more potent flavor. It tastes more like I bit into a mango.
And it's not as carbonated and citrus. I mean, not citrusy, but as carbonated as like bubbly
Right.
or LaCroix. So
Yeah.
like you got to be like a hardcore sparkling fan to like really like those. And
Yeah.
I like them, but I'm not going to sit there and enjoy a bubbly every day of my life.
Yeah, see, I also really do it. I'm a carbonation person, so I'm like, hold on, this can's beat up a little bit. So I just don't want to slice my hand up on camera. Let's just, all right, here we go. All right, so like I said, your boy's about to make a little mocktail here. So I've always wondered what would it taste like if I mix all the Liquid Death flavors together. So I'm gonna pour, this is a little of Buried Alive. We're gonna go a little mango chainsaw. And I'm gonna go a little floater of severed lime. I don't know if you all want to do the same.
I'll do it. Ava, do you want me to mix you up one? Or
Let me taste how this one is first. Look, here's what I want. I want fruit punched as a new flavor, Liquid Death. And now it's on camera, so you guys probably got to cut me in.
What?
Okay, let me get the berry real fast. Let me get berry, I think, and mango. I'm close. I put a little too much lime in there.
Okay. I think you're onto something, man. I think it's delicious. All three mixed together.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. Okay, so here's the move. Lime gets not the least amount. Well, it is the least amount. I would say it was berry and mango forward. It tastes like fruit punch. If you mix all three together, the lime is just enough to set it off.
Yeah.
That's really good. Come on, Liquid Death, make me a happy person.
Make us millions.
Sponsor me on the show, and we can team up on Fruit Punched. And otherwise, I'm sure another seltzer maker's listening. So capitalize on the moment, folks. That's good. I would drink that. That'll be Mark's mocktail. I'll be making it fresh in the Fiji water tank.
But in real news, Liquid Death did come with their own mocktail recipes. So
they did? Okay,
will
cool.
be at the show.
Look at that.
Pre-made Liquid Death mocktails and cocktails.
Oh, I'm into that too. That's right. We will mention that, the Oscar station is traditionally open Thursday nights from, I believe it's 4 to 9 p.m. We'll just say Thursday evenings to be safe. It's on our calendar at junglegyms.com. But we open it up as a bourbon bar. We also can do some cigars out there because it's an indoor-outdoor style space.
Yep.
So while this event is non-alcoholic, if you are really just jonesing for a drink, the bar will be open. We'll have, like Nick said, a couple of cocktails available too. But I'm just going to be live mixing these 3 cans the whole time.
Maybe it'll be your third stun of the year.
It is. Is it really my third one or second?
I mean, after Fiji, the dunk booth.
Oh, yeah.
this will
The
be your
third stun is just me pouring cans. So
I will pour
that was a
you all
little
the drinks.
lackluster, Mark. I'm like, yeah, I'm pouring it on the top of the Silver Mountain, Awesome. I'm into this.
Me too. I think it's delicious.
Well, thank you, everybody. So again, August 6th, 12 to 5 p.m., free for everybody. Monorail rides if you subscribe to the Jungle Gyms podcast. We talked live music from Electric Indigo,
Food trucks, ice cream trucks,
coffee, tea, water, soda.
juice.
You'd think by now we'd have the rhythm down, but
We have no idea what we're doing.
it's okay. We're not performers generally. I am. It's fine. As always, Nick, thank you so much. And Ava,
Absolutely.
great work today.
Hey, you've been killing it, kid. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, you did so good. I don't believe you're related to him. It's great work.
Don't give her ideas.
I know. She's funny like you, too. It's good stuff. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week for more Fizz Fest content. Ava, great work as always. Nick, you were there. All kidding aside, Nick, you've put in so much work towards Fizz Fest. Thank you so much for having me be such a big part of it. Next week, we've got our final sampling video and a bunch of other fun stuff. You'll get a little sample of the musical guest, the Electric Indigo, that we're bringing to the show next week. Again, it's all free. August 6th, Fairfield Jungle Gyms, blah, blah, blah. All right, coming up next, another one of our Fizz Fest sponsors joined me today. And you know what? I'm so excited about this because Hagen was the only person, and I'll say this in the interview too, YouTube, but whatever, you can hear it twice. It'll be all right. That has dressed as fun as I did in the studio, and I'm so appreciative of that. And, it's been a lot of fun. I get to learn a lot about all of these different beverage categories that, many of us have like sipped on before, but you don't really get to know the story. So the brand I'm bringing up next that Hagen's representing, they're called C4 Energy. You've probably seen them around, and you know what? Let's just go right into it. Meet Hagen. All right, we're here for the most explosive interview on the Jungle Gyms podcast. Let's count down, gentlemen. 1, 2, C4. Hey! All right, I'm back. This is a new favorite for me. Hagen, thank you so much for coming out and joining us on the show today.
Hey, Mark, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
I'm excited because you're the most excitingly dressed person I've had on the show besides myself, so I really can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
I mean, hey, look, if you're going to come to probably the most unique themed market in the country, you have to at least dress up. Like, you can't come here just wearing like a red polo or with a green pen or
with like
something.
a logo.
I don't even know how to read a green pen.
Who invited my dad to the show?
You gotta make it fun.
Yes, I didn't get the memo, guys.
It's okay. We'll get you some merch.
I could wear your sparkly jacket.
You want to put it on? We got time. I can edit.
Look like
You'll probably look like you're wearing a tent.
Why is he wearing a blanket for?
Well, Hagen, tell me a little bit about yourself and the brand that you're here representing today.
So my name's Hagen. I'm with C4. My handle is Ask Hagen. So if you have any questions, you can always ask Hagen, and I'll give you those answers. Keep that in mind the rest of the show, since you might ask me questions.
I will. We'll run a hashtag at the bottom of the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm just a normal guy. I started working at GNC when I was in college, and one day I went to lunch with my boss, and I was like, "Here's all the reasons you have to pay me more." And my boss said, "Why don't you go buy your own store so you know what it's like to deal with employees like you?" And I'm like, "Awesome idea." So I took out a lot of those cash advances that come through the mail, and I opened my first GNC store. And so I spent 10 years behind the counter at GNC talking to people about health and wellness. And then I started consulting for a little company called Cellucor, which I know you guys like tongue twisters from your last show. And
thank you, by the way.
Cellucor said, "Hey, why don't you come work with us?" And at the time I lived in Sarasota, Florida, and they're in Bryan College Station. If you don't know where that is, it's where Texas A&M is. Okay. There's nothing else there but Texas A&M. And I would be like, "I'm never coming out there. Thanks for the offer." And then the CEO called me one day and goes, "Hey, we're going to launch a product called C4 Explosive Energy." And I was like, "If you do that, I'm on the next plane out there." So I packed my car. I jokingly had my midlife crisis at 35. Drove out to Bryan College Station from Sarasota, Florida. Realized I was the oldest guy in the town and the oldest guy in the company at 35. And the rest has been history. We've grown it to the largest privately owned sports nutrition brand in the world. So served in over 110 countries, believe it or not, with this product.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm kind of blown away. It makes sense. Yeah,
That's
110
C4-tastic.
You wouldn't believe it.
I don't know if that's my red polo dad joke for the day.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. Which slider are you on? That's amazing. Well, okay, so I have to ask, is this your first time in Jungle Gyms?
This is my first time at Jungle Gyms.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
heard a lot. You're our best retailer out here.
Thank you.
And it's such a cool store. So I've seen pictures, and it's just, I love it when I see a business. I believe you guys have been around for over 40 years, right?
I think we're almost at
46,
50. Yeah.
46.
Yeah.
I'll take that almost at 50, unless it's when I'm 46.
I'll let you guys know it's 46. Okay. 10 years at 2 locations.
Thank you.
I think it follows like the American dream. You had a guy with a vision, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And, we're a little guy, right? We're still privately owned. We're not one of these big behemoth brands that has stock and all this other, money to buy your way in or out of whatever you want.
Right.
So it's just nice to be with another family-owned business and sit with you and just see how incredible this store is.
It's so cool to me too. I mean, obviously being here is nuts, and then being served in 110 countries is cool because we've got 70 countries here, so I need all of the international C4 flavors. But all kidding aside, no, it's been really cool to see the brand grow, because like when I first found out about C4, I think at that point were you just doing like the pre-workout powders? Is that where it started and then grew into the energy drink market?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I always make the joke, Mark. It's like Lululemon. It used to just be yoga pants, right?
Right.
I got news for you. I flew here today. 90% of the people in the airport wearing Lululemon. So Lululemon transcended from that yoga studio into mainstream fashion.
I love it.
And C4 did the same thing. We started as America's #1 selling pre-workout brand. Over 60% of the market share. I love to meet people and they go, oh my gosh, C4 is the first pre-workout I ever took.
Same.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you get into all the different ways they take it, dry scooping, shaking it, et cetera. And so when this product came out, it was a powder. And over time, the shake weight came out.
Yeah.
And people got tired of doing the shake weight thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So they said, hey, can you just make us for us? We don't want to shake it up anymore. So we made a can, listen to our customers' needs.
That's awesome.
So that's how we got there. You didn't get the shake weight joke. It's
No, I was honestly thinking a little too much about the shake weight.
He couldn't get past
I had
the
that
shake weight.
PTSD moment of like, oh, the shake weights. I can hear them in my head. That's incredible. I think it's such a cool thing, and I'm here for the sparkling aspect too. Something that always bummed me out about just the powders, and why I'm excited that you came in this format in the first place. Where I was like, I don't want a flat beverage. I want something. I need a little carbonation to perk me up, get me excited.
Well, it's so crazy because back in 2015, okay, there was a group of us who sat down with our CFO. We had an executive meeting, and we said, hey, we really need to come out with a carbonated product. And there was a handful of people that said, people will not want to drink a carbonated drink before the gym. And then we had our CFO put his glasses down nose. He's like, we're not a beverage company, we're a powder company. I'm like, says who? Who are you? He's like, I'm the CFO. And I'm like, no, we're going to be a beverage company one day. And so what we did was, to spite him, we actually would take the powder, shake it up, pour it into a soda stream. Remember soda stream?
Yeah.
And we would carbonate it in the office and everybody go, wow, this tastes amazing. And we're like, oh, but we're not a beverage company.
That's hilarious.
So we literally antagonized the whole business to try the carbonated product. And we launched in 2018 and everybody fell in love. And believe it or not, people actually do drink it before they work out, drink it before they pick up coolers, drink it before their radio show.
Yeah.
He really did
Podcast.
watch the show, man.
Yeah, no,
He watched it.
Honestly, I think he watched it more than I have.
I was in this room, and I think he's got it down.
And I truly can't thank you enough for that. Seriously, it really does mean a lot. Oh my gosh. It's funny that you mentioned the soda stream thing, because I'm like, oh, is that what I'm doing with my leftover powder now?
Yeah, you can.
Is that CFO still there? Or do we
No, he's not.
Yeah, we antagonized him out of the building. I was like, well, that's what happens when you're wrong. There's growth. It's just someone else's growth.
You
in
are
this
the weakest
case.
link.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Pull the giant
You
lever.
forget at the end of the day, people want convenience, right?
Yeah.
Like the number one reason people actually buy a beverage is not flavor. It's actually accessibility.
Yeah.
Is it accessible? And part of our mantra is accessible to all. We want to be accessible to everybody. And to do that, you have to be in stores like Jungle Gyms. You have to be in your convenience stores. You have to be everywhere so people can experience your product. And the second is actually color. So I always make the joke, people buy it once because it's yellow. They buy it twice because they were intrigued by how they felt.
Sure.
It
Yeah,
does
yeah.
make you feel a little tingly. And they buy it the third time because they love the flavor. And that's why, Pepsi and Coke are red and blue. That's why police lights are red and blue. People have a natural affinity to pay attention to red and blue.
Interesting.
Which is why our flagship flavors are strawberry watermelon and frozen bombsicle. Ooh. Your second favorite, depending on the day.
It is. I'm really torn right now. All of your flavors have been so delicious that I've tried. So I kind of have that problem where every time I try a new one, I'm like, okay, now that one's the new
They
favorite.
have been so good.
Yeah,
They've been so good.
I'm a casual energy drink user. I'm usually just a soda guy, so I like it. They're a treat to me, so it's always really exciting. Where I'm like, you're telling me I can have a 0 sugar handful of Skittles?
Yes,
I'm into
it.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
With
it's
no titanium dioxide.
I was just going to mention, I was like, you've not altered my DNA at all right now. It's funny about that whole thing's been cracking me up. I was at the movies this weekend, and I was like, no, I'm normally a Skittles guy if I'm eating at the theater anyway. And I was just like, oh, I guess I can't have this now if the titanium dioxide thing is a true problem. I don't want to find out. I've eaten enough Skittles already. Maybe something's already wrong with me.
Probably stop feeding my kids.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're your kids. I'm going to keep feeding them to them. Yeah.
Crying kid or titanium dioxide debate. I'll take.
They'll be
keeping my
21,
kid happy.
Yeah, right. Like things will be fine. Well, modern medicine will catch up by the time it's a problem.
Just drop them in soda. It washes it off. It's right.
I'm putting it in that soda stream.
Exactly.
All right. All kidding aside, here's my first official Ask Hagen moment. What makes C4 so special compared to other energy drink brands?
Great question. So I always look at who the consumers are, right? C4 started in the gym. It will always have that affinity for people who go to the gym. It was their first pre-workout. There's nostalgia there. We've been the category leader for over 10 years in pre-workout energy. So what makes our product truly different is our whole brand is sugar-free. There isn't a C4 that has sugar in it. So our brand is sugar-free. It's also calorie-free. It's also carb-free. So 0, 0, 0. No sugar, no carbs, no calories, of course, no fat because it's liquid. And it's also got no sodium. So when you zoom out, you have this product that's, essentially very clean. There's no artificial colors in it. But what's most important is what it says about you, right? If you see somebody drinking a C4, it kind of says they care about their health, right? Yeah. I always make the joke, it's like my wife buys fried chicken at Whole Foods. And I'm like, well, why do you buy fried chicken at Whole Foods? She's like, because it's healthier. I'm like, okay, show me how. She's like, because it costs $20 more. I'm like, good answer.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. So, it says something about you. It says, hey, I care about my health. I don't want those sugar-laden energy drinks. And, because it comes from the gym, so many people consume it in the gym, and now they consume it in the morning on their way to the gym or on their way to work. And our yellow product, which is our original, we call this our yellow can or our standard C4 energy. It does have an ingredient in it called beta-alanine, which is a tongue twister. Yeah. Right. And beta-alanine actually reduces lactic acid in your body. So quick Bill Nye the Science Guy. Yeah. Right. When you exercise, you lift coolers, you work out, your muscles start to get sore because they create a metabolic waste called lactic acid. Well, lactic acid is actually a fuel if it's recycled properly in the body, which is why it's actually better to work out if you're sore because you're working that lactic acid out. You're recycling it back in energy. So carnosine beta-alanine is actually clinically proven to reduce lactic acid. So it supports muscular endurance and it fights fatigue. So we actually have an ingredient in our product that does something. We also have beta power in here, which is an extract from beets, and it helps with hydration, but we don't just fill it with sodium like a lot of other hydration products do. Yeah. So, we have the energy drink, the great taste, because we spend the money on natural flavors, by the way. And then also you have the performance enhancing ingredients. Now, the one thing is not everybody likes that tingly feeling that the beta-alanine gives you. So we came out with Nick's favorite product, the C4 Smart Energy, which does not have that performance enhancing.
I was going to say, I've been drinking this one. I don't have that little tingle.
It's a smoother high, as it were.
Yes.
It's got me like low key, like I'm sitting here like, let's go.
Yeah. Jump in anytime, man. You're on the show.
Yeah. So you think like, we always make the joke, like, if you go to the gym, you're drinking your C4 yellow can or your standard C4 energy. But like, let's say you get a speeding ticket and you got to sit through 4 hours of driving school. You may not want to feel like you want to go pick things up and put them down. You want to be ultra focused. And the Smart Energy has cognizin in it, which is acetylcholine. That is an ingredient that can pass through the blood-brain barrier and is found in things like egg yolks, broccoli, and it does actually stimulate memory, focus, and recall. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, blood-brain barrier, another tongue twister.
He's all about the tongue twisters.
That just means it gets in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
So you said that you were in 110 countries.
Yes.
Are there flavors that vary country to country, or are they just like these flavors are in all 110 countries?
That's a great question. So let me be clear. Our powder is available at 110 countries. The drink isn't available in all of them because of different regulations.
Of course.
Right? But yes, I always pick on Australia because a lot of people don't know this, but when you buy like a Big Mac in Australia, it's upside down, and they call it the Down Under Burger. It's literally a Big Mac turned upside down.
That's good.
If you go to Burger King,
classic Macca's,
Hungry Jack's.
Yeah.
And a shrimp on the Barbie. I didn't know this until a few years ago. It's just short for barbecue. Yeah. But they just put IRB or something on the end of every word. So we have more fruity flavors like pineapple and mango, and they call it mangy and piney and things like that. So yes, the flavors do vary from country to country, but interestingly enough, like we're the number 2 energy drink in Dubai right now as it sits with very little marketing, but people in Dubai work very hard. They work long days. It's a fastly growing country, and they love it. Australia is probably our second biggest market, and they just love the product. It dominates in all the gyms. We just launched into their major retailers over there. with the smart energy. So we have the yellow can in all the gyms, the vending machines,
Yeah.
the health food stores like Nutrition Warehouse. And then we have the smart energy and Woolies and Kohl's. Those are still popular over there. Believe it or not.
Kohl's.
Yeah, Woolly and Kohl's is their big grocers over
Selling
there.
C4 and Kohl's, baby.
Don't forget, we're going to open a Jungle Gyms, and we'll call it Jungle Jimmy's over there.
Yeah.
Jimmy's.
So, yeah, it's been fun. But like, think of it like at work, they jokingly call me Mary Poppins because when we would launch into Canada, they'd be like, "Oh, Hagen, just go to Canada and figure it out." Okay. So I'd go do a tour of the country, and I did that Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Germany, UK, like you name it. I've been there selling our quite American product, I would say.
Sure.
You know, and in Malaysia and Singapore, it's a lot of Chinese women that actually, Muslim, that work at these stores. So you have to be able to connect with them and show them how to sell your product. It's actually been an incredible experience, you know?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nick, you look like you were going to ask something.
So how do I sell the international C4s?
So what's really interesting about the health and wellness space is it really comes from America, and it's an American culture thing, right? The exercising, the bodybuilding, the workout powders, it all really started in America. So actually in Singapore, Malaysia, and in many of these other countries, we just use our standard American label. Saudi Arabia, for example, is different because you have to have a label that's in Arabic.
Yeah.
In some of the EU countries, you have to have 4 European languages on there. Germany has their own product. So you can sell our C4 powder here and will be the same one that they sell in Malaysia and Singapore.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is
That's
cool.
But it'd be cool to sell like C4s that have like the Arabic lettering on it.
I'd be way into
yeah,
that.
I mean, people would go nuts over
Or
that.
at least we just put a display out.
We'll put that in Meryl's thinking cap for later.
Yeah, exactly.
I could literally show you a picture from somebody just sent me from a gym in Bahrain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Bahrain,
That's amazing.
yeah. And it's like a huge backdrop of C4, and it's got our can. They sell our can there. It's just amazing. But where there's a gym, there's C4.
Yeah.
But again, now it's cool to see where there's a classroom, there's C4. Where there's a yoga class, there's a C4. It's really come so far. But so has fitness, right?
Yeah,
right.
Fitness fashion is in. You know, joining Planet Fitness for $10 a month, it's in, right? Like,
Yeah.
right here in your parking lot. People want to be a part of the club. They want to be fit. They want to be perceived as healthier. And they, especially after COVID, people want to be healthier, right?
It's true.
We don't want the higher risk things the next pandemic that rolls around.
Yeah, so true.
True.
So I got a trainer and then took a job and then don't get to see him anymore. Matt, I love you, but thank you for doing the show a few months back.
So, Mark, I have a question for you.
Oh, I'm ready. Ask Mark. That's the
Hashtag, baby.
That's actually, let me do one better. It's question mark.
That's actually
He's been
good.
sitting on that one for 2 weeks.
Yeah. But please, Hagen.
So the first time you drank a C4, what happened? You're laughing. How did you feel?
So I didn't read the can first off. And like I said, casual energy drink buyer. And what initially attracted me, the first flavor I tried of it in the can was the cherry Starburst. So I saw this was right around when I first started. I saw we had the Starburst display. I'm like, I'm in, I got to try that. So I grab a can, I bring it home, and I put it in the fridge that night. And the next morning, instead of bringing coffee like I normally would, I bring my C4. And because I'm a casual energy drink guy, you know, I'm a bigger dude, and I am trying to get in better shape now, but I'm also hyper cognizant of my weight. So I'm always just like, let's not drink a bunch of this just in case this is the time it goes badly for someone. I don't want to be a news report. Well, I mean, I'm not kidding. I was terrified. So I'm driving to work. I drink maybe a third of the can on the way to work. And as I'm pulling up to Jungle Gyms, it starts happening. And I start having that like little extra wiggle in my body, and I get a little of the tingling, and I'm just like,
It's happening.
yeah, I was like, oh shit. I really had that moment. I was like, oh God. Is it my time? Is this it?
going, Mom.
And so I'm just sitting there. I'm like, well, let me look at the can as I'm at the red light. I was like, maybe there's a thing. And then I see the carnosine and the beta power thing. And it's like, in my brain, it was just like, the thing that's happening to you right now is intentional, Mark. So please calm down in the Jungle Gyms parking lot. And after that, I was just like, oh. And no joke, as soon as I had that click, and so anybody trying this, I just read it first so you don't have a stupid moment like I did. I felt like I could lift a truck. It was awesome. And it was that once I realized it was intentional, I was just like, game time. So
His
now
most productive day ever.
it literally was. We went out and it was like right around the time I was still working with my trainer. I hadn't at that point. But it was one of those days where I was just like, I'm always naturally high energy, but that day I was like focused. I had that like kind of like laser beam vision.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, for real, where I was just like, yeah, I'm in here working right now. I was like, do you need me to move the table? Yeah, I can move it by myself. You know what I mean? Kind of a
Rocky
thing.
theme track is playing in the
Seriously,
background.
I was like, do I hear horns? It doesn't matter. I'm good. You know, it was amazing. And so it was funny and maybe a little scary at first because, again, I rarely drink energy drinks. I'm used to like coffee or the caffeine in a Mountain Dew or something like that, where I'm like, it doesn't move the needle at all. It's just a way of life. And this was impressive. It was the first time I'd ever tried an energy drink where I really did feel the function aspect, if that makes sense. And so it's really wonderful to hear you all say that the fitness end has been such a focus and that it makes so much sense, because to me, it really does feel, I feel like calling it an energy drink is almost like a little reductive. It feels like a function beverage.
It's called an energy experience.
I love it. Yeah.
So for everybody coming to Fizz Fest next weekend, let me explain what Mark was trying to say, because it makes it sound like he was Ricky Bobby on fire for a minute there.
I kind of was. I was like, I got that energy. Like, I'm on you like a sponge.
Something's wrong.
Thank you, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, did I take edibles? That was really the feeling. I was like, whoa, hey. And then it's like, you know, you read the thing. It's like, this is some really good stuff. And I'm like, well, all right, let's
Some
go.
high functioning.
So Nick, you know the feeling you get like when you're sleeping or your arm falls asleep.
Yeah,
Take that happen, or you're sitting for too long, your leg falls asleep. And when it starts to wake up, you get like the pins and needles. Like you can feel your circulation coming back. And you're like, woo, I can feel my body waking up, right? You shake your arm out. You're doing a little bit of this like Mark was in the car. So when that beta alanine kicks in, it starts recycling out that lactic acid and freeing up some muscular endurance, you're going to feel your body start to wake up. And that's one of the things that makes C4 a viral brand is people talk about it.
Yeah.
Whether you love it or you hate it or you're freaking out in your car, you're going to tell people. So that's what happened is somebody might go, oh my gosh, don't try that. And the next guy's like, why?
Yeah.
Well, people are listening to Mark right now going, I want to feel like I might have fell in the parking lot. I want to be able to pick up a truck.
It really was like, you know, like I said, there was that initial fear, but ultimately I was like, this is one of the greatest. It really felt like, you know what I said to somebody that day? And I don't want this to sound too kiss-assy while I've got you on the show, but it really felt like I'd been lied to by all of these other beverages I've been trying forever, where I was just like, well, you know, this wasn't waking me up. You know, it was the same thing where this was like, you said it so well. It really did feel like I came alive in the parking lot a little bit. It was electric.
It was electric.
Boogie, boogie,
Yeah. No, and that is what drives word of mouth advertising. Like, why do people come to Jungle Gyms, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, I went to this store. It was so crazy. It's nothing like a grocery store. It's an international market. They got 14 different kinds of soup. They got all these different things. Yeah. It's not just Campbell's at that place, right? So, you know, people talk about our brand, and we really like got this far, if you will, without hardcore marketing, without big athletes. Now, of course, we have Kevin Hart and you know, some really famous football stars, Justin Fields. I don't want to say too much here because I know it's football land and some people get a little iffy if you talk about other people's teams.
I'm not cool. I know nothing about sports. So I'm like, Kevin Hart, I know who that is.
Yes. So, you know, it's just become one of those brands that people talk about. And that's really important. Your store is something people talk about. It's unique. It has to be unique now to make it. And you're right. The number one complaint for all the other energy beverages, I don't feel it. And you drink one C4 and
half a C4.
And C4 actually only has 200 milligrams of caffeine, where a lot of other products in the category have 300.
Right.
But because of the sensory experience you get from the beta alanine, people will tell you it feels stronger. So you're not just jamming yourself up with caffeine that even then you still don't feel because your blood sugar crashed shortly thereafter. This is no sugar. You don't get the crash. The beta alanine's fighting fatigue and waking your body up.
Yeah,
so
it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm almost half a can in, and I'm like, do we have to move anything today?
Yeah, I finished mine. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. That's amazing. I really do like the what are we calling it again? I'm so sorry. The brain line. That's what I keep referring to it as.
Smart energy.
Smart energy. Thank you. Look, this is why
book.
I know. I've been reading too many
We've been doing
books.
this for 2 weeks now.
I think that's really the issue. Is there's so much branding that's happened in the last 2 weeks of my life that I'm just
cram
like,
it into your.
I know, it's amazing.
That's my life every day.
It's impressive. Look, And I have to just learn a little of that. It's perfect. Realistically, I'm here to smile and like the product. Well, as we near what I would call the end of this, Hagen, is there anything else you'd really like everybody to know about C4? Is there anything coming out soon that we can kind of tease the audience with? Maybe some new flavors or collabs like the Skittles Starburst thing?
Feed me, baby, feed me.
Yeah.
I could tell you.
Give me the TikTok clip.
So we got C4 Ultimate coming out.
Okay.
C4 Ultimate. So within C4, think of Cellucor as like Nike, and then C4 is our Jordan. But now within the Jordan, you have multiple different varieties, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have C4 Smart Energy. C4 Smart Energy is for cognitive function. It doesn't make you feel like your body's waking up. It doesn't give you the tingly feeling that our yellow can is world renowned for. It's iconic, if you will. Well, then we have an ultimate product. For the people who maybe this isn't quite enough of, we have Ultimate C4, which is the 300 milligrams of caffeine with all the bells and whistles, with additional focus ingredients. So it's kind of like a combination of the Smart Energy, the yellow can, with just more of everything in it.
You can move a semi-truck.
Exactly.
It's a black can. It's matted out. Matte
Oh,
black,
that's cool. I love it.
It's so cool. Like, you just want to hear the song Thunder, like when you're drinking, Welcome to the jungle. You just, like, let's go to Fizz Fast. Woo!
You know what? Let me throw that one out to the audience. Audience, if you're watching this right now and you're a C4 fan, send me an email at podcast@junglegyms.com or leave a comment on YouTube, wherever you get this. I want to know what song plays when you crack open your C4.
Yeah.
Let me know. And if it's a good one, I'll read the list next week on the show.
And then something else that's really fun that's coming that we're very proud of is, C4 was the #1 selling pre-workout on military bases. That was like literally more than half of our business for quite a few years. And so we're happy to come back with a military exclusive can, sponsoring the Wounded Warrior Project.
Amazing.
And it's a fun name. You're going to love it, Mark. It's called Mango Foxtrot.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I want to drink that.
Yeah, me too.
I love mango.
And percent of the proceeds will go to the Wounded Warrior
That's
Project, which has
fantastic.
always been something passionate to us. So that'll be out in Q3, Q4.
So cool.
That's Q3, Q4.
Oh, thank you very
welcome.
much. I appreciate
All right,
it.
Please tell the buyer, Nick, okay? Mango Foxtrot, be on the lookout for that. I'm sure Jungle Gyms will have it first as being one of our preferred retailers. And most importantly, I think everybody really just forget all the science and stuff. Our product tastes amazing.
It really does.
It does.
So come to Fizz Fest, get your little sample cups, and try out the C4 and just see if it tastes better.
2 ounces of amazingness.
2 ounces of amazingness. Another fun fact about this product is originally when we launched it, it had artificial colors in it. Because let's be real, like you expect lasagna to be red, so we expect a frozen bombsicle to kind of be blue.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we launched that and our consumers didn't like it. They said, why do you have coloring in here? You don't need it. And being a privately owned company, like we took it out after the first run. So another really unique thing is we do listen to our customers. And if you have a great flavor idea, you can always email us or send us a message at C4 Energy on the can, and we listen.
That's so cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, so C4 Ultimate, get ready, buckle up for that one.
I'm down.
yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, we should get a trailer and try and pull one just ourselves.
Seriously, don't get stuck in traffic if you drink that product. I can assure you, you'll need a new steering wheel.
My soul started leaving my body like I was in Doctor Strange and just pulled it back in. I was like, okay, that's C4 powers. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited to try that as well. And again, I can't say enough kind things about how seriously, everybody out there, if you like Skittles at all, you got to try this one. You got to try them all. But I've been thinking about this flavor all week.
God, get room.
I get the alerts at the counter. I was like, C4's coming up. I better get a little more Skittles action today.
Yeah,
So,
we were the first mainstream energy brand to do the candy collab too. And Mars is very picky. Their flavors have to be spot on. They tried every single one of their flavors over and over and over until we got it right. They have to approve all that. So it's been an honor to do business with a brand with as much nostalgia as Skittles
Iconic.
and Mars.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's funny about that is just the nostalgia. Like you can take somebody who doesn't drink energy drinks and you put the Skittles in front of them, they're like, I gotta taste that just to see if it tastes like it, right? Like,
that was me with the cherry starburst. I was like, again, I'm not your target customer usually, or I think I am now. But at the time, I was like, well, and I saw that cherry starburst. I'm like, shit, I got to do it, you know? And here we are.
You know, I don't know if you can do this, but one thing that'd be fun is I'd love to know from your listeners and your viewers, there's a difference between the C4 can with the starburst down the side, and there's a difference with our performance striping. I would love to know if there's a way that you can poll your people which design they like better. Do you like the hardcore edgy stripes, or do you like the fruit inclusions down the side? That'd be a really fun thing to do if you can do any kind of poll on your podcast.
Yeah, hashtag ask the audience.
Yeah, let's ask the audience. We want to know what Jungle Gym people care, because clearly they have style and they're cooler than the average customer.
Thank you. I appreciate that too.
So
Yeah,
tell me
let's
more
find out.
about FizzFest. Am I flying back out to Ohio for it?
I think you should.
I think you should. I think it's going to be awesome. August 6th, 12 to 5 p.m. We're going to have energies, waters, teas, hydration.
And if you drink enough of the C4, you can actually help us put away all the tables and stuff when the event's over.
We'll have, a bunch of C4 laid out, take can, and then, help us clean up. It'd
Be awesome. I know I'll be juiced on it that day. I'm excited. I'm getting dunked in water. I need that energy to get me through it.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be in the dunking booth?
Oh, yeah. So 500 gallons of Fiji water. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, wow.
I'm here for a stunt. So if you guys ever have a weird C4 energy stunt you want to do, I'm your guy.
I think
Seriously.
next year we'll fill that with 500 gallons of C4.
That would be amazing.
Just imagine how much your body would wake up if you landed in it.
It's like just ignite with energy. Oh my gosh, I'm here for it. Let's make it happen.
Let's make
well,
it
Hagen,
happen.
thank you so much for coming out today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. It's really an honor to be here. Thank you for being such a great partner. And if you haven't been out to Jungle Gyms yet, C4 is an experience, but Jungle Gyms is one hell of a shopping experience.
We can team up. It's a
Thank you.
collab. That's what I'm here for.
That's it. We'll do like rhinoceros flavor. Get your rhino in.
Yeah, exactly. That'll also be very popular in Australia, probably. They love killer animals.
They'll
there.
call it a rhiny.
Yeah, right. It's
Rhiny.
like, hey, you got a Rhiny. Awesome. Thanks again. Hagen, thanks for your time. Thank you so much for coming out today. It's been really fun. Like I said earlier, it's really fun to learn all about the product line. I love seeing that you all are having so much success around the world. It's really, really cool. Now, coming up next, another sponsor of the show. Don't you love it's all event sponsors? Honestly, I love it. Part of me, I'm like, I feel so successful right now. But this is a really cool brand. Now, this brand, and again, I'm sorry that I sometimes mention things that are in the interviews, but I just want to tease you and entice you to keep watching. This is a cool brand to me, and they have done so well. Let me back up. In Jungle Gyms, all of us like to get together and talk about the products that we find in the stores. You can imagine there's a ton of stuff here, and it's hard to discover every single thing. So sometimes you just kind of got to rely on your coworkers to suggest things. So my friend Josie turned me on to this product called Hop Wtr, and Hop Wtr was a big category for us in the non-alcoholic beverage game, as it were, with Nick. And they're one of the sponsors of FizzFest. So I finally tried it, and wow, what a delicious find. It was not what I was expecting, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope you all will come out to FizzFest to try it for yourselves. But if not, I'm hoping that the team at Hop Wtr themselves can help entice you a little bit. So meet the team from Hop Wtr. So we're joined right now by Jordan and Lauren from Hop Wtr, a new product to me, but I know you've been out there a little bit. How are you all doing today?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. Really excited to be here and chat with you.
Yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Well, all right, explain Hop Wtr to the audience. Pretend that they are just like me and have not had a chance to enjoy this the way I have.
Absolutely. So I'll take that and give a bit of an overview. So Hop Wtr is a sparkling water infused with hops. So we take a sparkling water base. We then take hops. We extract the oils, the essence, the terpenes, and then infuse that into a sparkling water. So think of it as an adult LaCroix or a cross between your favorite, light beer and a sparkling water. And so from a tasting standpoint, it gives you a really nice, like piney kind of citrus notes up front. And then has kind of like a slightly bitter mid palate and a really clean finish. We hear from, customers that the number one kind of thing that we hear back is it's really refreshing. And so that's kind of, the product. We then also, so from a hop standpoint, we use Mosaic, Citra, Amarillo hops. And we, really wanted to kind of like mimic a West Coast almost IPA. We like to say, like, pay homage to your favorite IPA. It's 0 calories, 0 carbs. So it's definitely not a, 200 or 300 calorie IPA from a mouthfeel. But we really wanted to kind of mimic that taste. We then also, in addition to the flavors, we added on top a functional benefit to it. So we have ashwagandha and L-theanine, which are an adaptogen and a nootropic. And, when we kind of, and I can talk about, how we came up with the concept later, but when we were looking at, filling this need state, we were kind of looking at non-alc beers and some of the other products. And what struck us was, and our usage occasion was, that we were oftentimes using this in the evening to relax, or on the weekend, when we're at a summer barbecue, or just even at work, taking that 30 minutes to kind of hang out and reset. And we struck us that, if we're replacing that kind of beer occasion, you've taken all the functionality away of kind of the relaxation, and we really wanted some functional aspect. So ashwagandha is a root, it's a plant, totally natural, plant-based. And it provides relaxation, kind of de-stressing benefits, not drowsy, just kind of like de-stressing. L-theanine is oftentimes used in energy drinks and provides kind of like a calm focus when it's on its own. So those two together give like a slight mood boosting benefit. Now, last thing I'll say about it is that it's intended to be a light, functional impact. You could drink 2 or 3 of these. It's not like you can only consume one and then you're kind of, done. So we really wanted to be able to have multiple in a city, and that's what our consumers are telling us they do.
Yeah, I love it so far. It was one of those things that I wasn't sure what to expect.
Yeah.
Nick brought it in when we started talking about Fizz Fest. He's like, you got to try this. And funny enough, it's quickly become a favorite amongst the employees. And that's like sort of a running internal Jungle Gyms thing, is that we're always like, hey, did you try this thing that we've got in, orange too, or whatever? And like, we'll come in. And so that's been fun for me. I'm loving the blood orange so far.
Yeah.
It's giving me a little note of, like almost like childhood nostalgia. Kind of reminds me of like sort of like fruity cereal in a strange way. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
A big question I had was, where did this all come from? I mean, obviously, like with the seltzer space kind of exploding, and obviously a lot of people both enjoying the beer scene but kind of wanting a similar non-alcoholic end. What was the impetus behind Hop Wtr?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can talk a little bit about the, founding, kind of going all the way back. I grew up in the foothills of the mountains, always pretty active outdoor guy. So, health has always been an important part of my lifestyle. Also big craft beer fan, love drinking beers. And I was training for a triathlon, and I, found, what happened was my wife got pregnant with our first child. I now have 2, but she got pregnant with our first child. And so I like to say I lost my drinking partner, and it put a spotlight on the fact that I was the one, crushing double IPAs on the couch and, porters on the weekend. And, that was a bit counterproductive to my training regimen. But I still, I work hard, pretty active. And, those moments of relaxation were still like really important to me. And I found that substituting just a berry flavored bubbly water, wasn't quite cutting it for me, and I really wanted something more. And so, then when I looked at some of the other alternatives, they were really high in carbs and calories, had no function to them, and that really didn't fit what I wanted. And my co-founder, Nick, we'd been buddies in LA for a couple of years before founding Hop Wtr. He had the same experience. We were kind of commiserating. He would say he put on 20 pounds, was like, not feeling the way he wanted to. And so, we both kind of had this same hole in the market, and we said, let's go do something ourselves. Like, no one else is doing that. We really wanted something that was like lower, no calorie, lower, no carb, gave us that great sort of paying homage to our favorite beer, and had some functional benefit. And so that's how Hop Wtr was born.
That's so cool. I love it. And I love that there's like, I like the wellness aspect, right? And I think that's been such a cool thing, especially for me watching as somebody who's trying to get into better shape. I love that there's so many more options now, that even just in the last couple of years where there's a lot of different things. Cause I'm like you, where, I was a heavy both drinker and soda drinker, and it's hard to find those good options that kind of hit that end of like, I don't want this to be terrible for me, right? So, and I love the idea of using the nootropics and the, you called them adaptogens, right? Was that the other expression? Such a cool idea. And, it's funny, having drank a couple cans, and then now I'm thinking back, I was like, oh, that makes sense as to why I felt like a little relaxed after a couple of them. And, you still got that like good headspace. So mission accomplished. How do you guys get all linked up? This is a Nick question as well, but how do you get linked up with the Jungle Gyms thing? How'd this go?
Well, I got Hop Wtr sample sent to me like I want to say 3 months ago, and then I kind of took it from there. And then luckily they were already in stock at one of our distributors, and we brought them in, and then we kind of just took it from there. And then reaching out to, I think it was a broker for Hop Wtr, and then we kind of got to Lauren on locally, and then I met Lauren and was it Sam at a food show in Chicago, and it's kind of blossomed from there. And then they wanted to do more with FizzFest being a sponsor, so getting more creative of how we could sell it as a mocktail and a cocktail and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of gotten wings to it and exploding.
I love it. That's a cool story. So Lauren, what is it that you do for the company?
So I lead the sales team. I joined Hop Wtr team back in November just last year. And I've always been a Cincinnati girl, shopped at Jungle Gym since I was a little girl, and was super excited to start having the conversations. And then when we actually could see the pallets on the floor, it's been fun because you guys are one of the first ones here in the Midwest to actually partner with us, being a California company with Jordan. So it's been a really cool ride.
That's really cool. I heard a rumor that there might even be some local production happening of this too. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to, further build on Lauren's comments, we're really thankful to Nick for being, visionary on this product, bringing us in, giving us huge support, and to Jungle Gyms, in general as a market. It's been really cool to work with such an incredible retailer. And yes, you're right. So we started our production on the West Coast when we were kind of a California only company. And as we've expanded to the East Coast and the Midwest, we actually launched a production facility in Ohio. So we're locally produced. Product is as fresh as it can be at Jungle Gyms.
Hand canned, never touched by human hands until I put my fingers in the can itself.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I'm super excited about you being a part of FizzFest. I think what's been really, so, for me, I just do the podcast and social media and stuff. So for me, I'm always, I'm like the audience, I'm learning constantly. So it's been really cool through this process to learn about brands like yours and so many others that have gotten involved to sponsor this event in the first place. And there's just so much cool stuff out there that I kind of had no idea existed, right? I'm a regular human. I get stuck in my own routines and, forget to try new things. So I am so excited about this being a thing. I think a lot of people are going to fall in love with this that weekend.
Me too.
I think better. Anyway.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, we launched the company less than 2 years ago, and when we were first going into stores 2 years ago and presenting Hop Wtr, even as a category, people were kind of just like, "What is this?" And now, they're starting to get a lot of traction for the category and the product, and I think it's really fits on these macro consumer trends like you talked about earlier with kind of health and wellness. And so now we kind of introduce it and people are like, "Yep, I get it. That's perfect. That fits right in with what I'm looking for."
So I know you've got a pretty extensive product line now. We've got like the standard, I'm calling it standard at least. We've got that. We've got the blood orange. I tried mango and lime. Any new flavors? Maybe we get to try that at FizzFest. What's going on there?
Yeah, we're super excited. New peach is coming. It is super summer sipper, perfect for mixing, perfect for on the beach at the lake. But yeah, that'll definitely be at FizzFest with me. So you'll have to come by and try it.
I'm looking forward to that too. That sounds delicious. Yeah, I love it. And I'm assuming that'll probably mean as well that we'll likely have it in store at some point too.
Yes, it should be very soon. We are working on, as Jordan said, getting the first trucks to you guys. So
awesome.
And peach is one of the personal favorites. My husband hates peach like anything, and he actually drinks it and loves it. So it's definitely a good SKU. It's husband approved.
Oh,
it's
awesome.
become my wife's new favorite too. So.
Yeah.
Spouse approved.
You know what? I've got a pediatrician coming in on the show soon. I'll get a pediatrician approved at this rate. Okay. That'll be great. Hey, everyone. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It's been an absolute pleasure. I truly love your product. And I know I'm looking forward to seeing you at FizzFest.
I am too.
It's going to be a great time. So thank you so much for sponsoring and being a part of the event.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Mark, Nick, Jungle Gyms, thank you so much for supporting us and bringing us in. We're really excited to work with you.
Hop Wtr, had a beautiful time. Looking forward to trying that new flavor here at FizzFest. You heard that right, folks. This is the place to try new things. I'm going to be on the cutting edge of food technology, and maybe not directly technology, but maybe just flavors. Whatever. You've heard of peach before. You know it's going to be good because I keep telling you, I think it's going to be good. Well, Hop Wtr, C4 Energy, Nick and Ava, great episode. Thank you so much for being a huge part of the show. I've been having a great time. And to all of you out there, you've only got one more week of FizzFest Forward programming, so get ready for that. And if you saw any of the bits where I asked you to engage with me during the show, I really want you to do that. So always, my email inbox is open to you, podcast@junglegyms.com. Shoot me a line. Or, you know what, I haven't gotten any good calls or any prank calls recently. So if you want, and I'll play your clip on the show if you would like, send me or call me at area code 513-674-6855 and leave me a voicemail that I can play on the show. I'd love to hear from you all. Look, let me use my platform to share what you're up to. I think that'd be a lot of fun, right? Well, on that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. You know the drill here. Like, share, subscribe, leave me those reviews. I'm trying to get over 100, baby. Let's go. We're doing great. And in the meantime, I'll see you out there in the aisles.
The Jungle Gyms podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Jungle Gyms International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Jungle Gyms podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.